No, they'd have to. I mean, they really should. The prison guards really should douche him back, like fire with fire, like that. It would get real then, because if the guards were like throwing poop water in their cell, it'd be like, you don't have anything to clean off with. Okay, well, you think about that for a while you.
Well, that's what Homeboy told us, right? Like didn't he told us that they tied him down and pissed in his face.
I would hate that.
Yeah, it was either our guest who was in prison, or it was like or it was a prison video that I watched. I watch a lot of that shit, so it all gets melded together. But I definitely heard a guy who was talking about how he'd been like
Atwood
strapped down to maybe Atwood, yeah. How he'd been no, not him. It was a bald guy. It was a big bald guy. But anyway, he was talking about like, hey, they strapped me down, pissed in my face. What are you gonna do?
The jewel thief?
What are you gonna do? Take it, I guess.
I think it's the jewel thief. It's the jewel thief. That's who it is. You got it. Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy's also the one who was like,
I wasn't even sure you heard me. I think I'm on a delay. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a little delayed, definitely.
He was the one who makes that prison spaghetti still using the prison techniques. Like, he doesn't even use a goddamn pot and a stove. He's got that thing that you plug into an outlet, and it's two pieces of metal separated by a block of wood, and the wood gets wet and the current flows between, and it all gets hot as fuck and boils a thing of water. And he's boiling those goddamn noodles, and he's making a sauce by microwaving those little shitty store pepperonis until they're crispy, not until they're cooked, until they break into flakes when you rub them between your fingers. And he's flaking that stuff over the pepperoni, and it looks pretty good. He's flaking over the noodles, I should say, the pasta. Yeah. It's Larry Atwood or something.
Larry Lawton?
Maybe, I don't fucking know. Yeah, maybe Larry Lawton. That sounds right. I think so. Oh, he's the guy we had on the show, right?
Yeah.
He was the one who I had a hard time having a goddamn conversation.
He was the guy that you were trying to just pull his teeth to get him to answer your question.
I felt like I don't read comments or anything, but I was like, man, I hope people don't blame me for this guy being a dumbass. Because when I watch his long form videos, somebody has helped him get his thoughts together, and I thought he could carry on a conversation, but I was wrong, and I apologize to anybody who didn't enjoy listening to our conversation with him. I legitimately was sitting here, I was thinking like, people are gonna blame me for this. I bet. People are going to blame me for this dumbass talk. What is he talking about? This boomer doesn't know how to put a phone.
Dude, I'm looking at the comments on that PKA right now. The top one, well, obviously the top one is Larry saying, thank you guys so much for having me. Having a great time. Nice of him. The next one is, I think his prison sentence was the last sentence that Larry finished. This entire 600 upvotes on that. This entire episode is like asking what a producer does. Larry has immunity to Woody's shush ability. He just Kyle quote, yes, Larry, but how do we rob the jewelry store Myers?
You can see I'm trying so hard. I felt like
I love it when Kyle gets frustrated.
Yeah, because I can feel when it's not going to be good to listen to. I'm like, man, if I were listening to this motherfucker, I would be ready. I'd be fast forwarding right now. And I hate that. I want to do a good job. I want it to be funny. And I want him to answer my fucking question. like you're a bank robber. So tell me how to rob a fucking bank, or jewelry store robber. That's what he'd say. He'd be like, actually, yeah, I rob jewelry stores. You don't even know what you're talking about. And it's like, dude, you still haven't told me how to rob that fucking store. I could make it up better than you can tell it, dude. Yeah. I can make it up better than you can tell it. I could make up how I used to make believe rob jewelry stores, and it'd be so much better than your. God, I think he might have a neurological thing going on, or he's just a shit storyteller. Either way, I apologize for him. Because when you watch his videos, he's got it together. It's almost like there's somebody with cue cards behind him. No, on track. I bet there's a fucking railroad track drawn on the fucking pasteboard, so he knows to stay on track, and he's got little cars for his topics.
I mean, as it went on, it went from frustrating to I was enjoying watching you get frustrated with him. So I think a lot of the audience saw that too, where it's I near the hour 3, I was actively I hope he just continues to not tell this story.
I was getting
just keep it rolling.
And he doesn't have any. he's like Jesse Ventura in a way. It reminded me of that interview he did where like he thinks he's a tough guy and that he's got our like tough guy. That he has enough tough guy credential that he's a tough guy here, but he doesn't. He doesn't like. And I'm not saying that I'm tougher than this guy. This guy did a bunch of time in prison. He was a tough guy one time maybe, but he's not now. I'm not afraid of you. I don't. Dude, get your shit together. Like you don't have enough carte blanche here to like, just run on endlessly and not make your goddamn point. and I think he like threatened one of us at one point, and it was like any one of us will whoop your old ass, dude. Like what are you talking about?
I think I remember. Yeah, he called me fat, and then I said he was fatter than I was, and that
he is.
You know, you better come at me quick because you're old as shit.
Time's running out.
Yeah, time's running. The last few minutes of that show was fun.
Our bout's got an expiration date.
Yeah.
So you might want to hurry it up. Nobody. Yeah, that didn't like that. He was trying to be like tough guy Larry or something like that. Like, no, dude. Like we all get the same amount of microphone time here.
No need to put on airs. Just tell the fun, tell the good story.
And look, I still don't know how to rob a fucking jewelry store to this day.
No, I couldn't rob it at all. I'd get halfway through and then start thinking about something else.
Because here's what I want to know. Because I still don't, and I know we asked him this, and if he did answer it, he didn't answer it well enough for us to know to this day. Because the main thing has always been, if you got jewels, what do you do with them? How do you fence them? Because I don't know. Like if I
still don't know.
If I stole a television, I'd go to a pawn shop and get ripped off because I don't have a TV place to take it to.
Sure,
if I knew a guy who had an electronics store, oh man, now I could probably get 2/3 value or something like that. I'm gonna get 1/10 or something at a pawn shop. The same thing's true of these jewels. First of all, they're a huge red flag, right? Because the guy at the pawn shop can't move diamonds either. So when you ask somebody like Larry who's moved diamonds, yeah, man, how do you move diamonds? Well, let me tell you about my beard. It used to be a lot thicker. Back in the day, I had a nice thick Dago beard. What the fuck are you talking about? Do y'all have a smartphone?
You all have a smartphone. Am I the only one smelling toast? Is anyone on the call tasting?
He's having
almonds?
a stroke. He's smelling toast. He's burnt toast.
Oh, okay.
It's burnt toast. Or I think they smell grass clippings sometimes, maybe too. It's a few things
like that.
It's a few things when your brain's dying.
When your brain is actively dying.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Larry was like amazed when Zach put that picture of the Brinks truck up. Remember where we talked about like a Brinks truck, and then Zach brought the photo up, and he was like, "Oh, whoa, what's going on here?" that was so funny.
He thought you had hacked his computer and put a Brinks truck on it. Whoa, you're in my server putting a Brinks truck up. Is that a real Brinks truck of money? Is that theft?
Yeah. Next time we have him on, we'll be more aggressive.
I'm sure he'll come back.
You know who I want on?
Will he not come back because he doesn't have that long to live, or because we talk shit on him?
If we have him back, I want to have a real jewel thief on to like answer the questions. I want him to like fail at answering questions, and then like someone who can be like, "That's really interesting, Larry." Well, what I did was I went to my Iranian friend. Okay, I knew that he had some cousins overseas, and look, I don't know where that money went, but the men wanted diamonds. Okay, that's all I knew. And hey, maybe we financed terror, maybe we didn't. We got rich doing it. I'll tell you that. Like I want that.
See,
I want
that would
guy.
be enough of an answer. I'd be like, Iran. Okay, I've heard seedy things.
Just make something up if you don't have an answer.
Yeah, always. That's what this podcast
I want to.
is built on.
I was going to say.